Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 9 Alpha and Beta Cast. You guys are talking about the Whisperers, and everybody wants to know, you came into our land, killed our kind. Now we explore your land, learn about your people. You will see us. You will learn about us, or something like that. I'm trying to do some alpha quotes to get you guys going. I think I got a little bit of it from the comic book. I'll do a little bit of research on that stuff tomorrow, and if you guys are interested, let me know. There's just a lot. People want to know who Alpha is, who Beta is. I've not read that far up. I just took down a couple notes, and some bad people, man. Some bad people, and I got a feeling there's now that it's completely cast that people are getting a little bit distracted. So just real quick, give me a quick 999 right now. Everybody's logging in. If you guys would like to do a complete Whisperer discussion tomorrow night. If we get enough, if I get like 50, 60, actually, you know what? I tell you guys what, you can type all the 999s you want. Once we get this up to 100 and something likes, then I'll assume that you guys want to talk about it, because some people have some knowledge and they want to talk about it. Some people want to learn about it. Just like the video, and then that'll be enough information that we'll know what we're doing. All right, real quick shout out. Want to say what's up to Ron Burgundy Moore and wish him a happy birthday. I see you, Ron. So we got a lot of birthdays coming up. Appreciate everybody being here. We're going to talk a little bit about the casting, not just Ryan Hurst and Samantha Morton, but we're going to talk about several other people that have been cast. And I'm going to ask a few questions that have to do with the show and just give you a couple observations that I came up with, and maybe some difficulties. And I'll give you just a couple, just not spoilers, but just a prelude of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So everybody having a good Monday? I hope so. I hope everybody is had a good weekend, liked Fear last night, and participated in some of the conversations that we had. This is a great time of year because we've got Fear, we've got a good Fear storyline, so we're having fun with that. There's a lot of anticipation with The Walking Dead. And as they start to roll out these new characters and popular characters, they're distracted, I guess. They don't realize how much they're going to miss Rick and Maggie and Jesus and others because there's so many new people that are coming on board. So what I'm hearing, and we'll talk about the casting in just a second, is from my research and from the comics and what people have told me, I've not really read that far into it, but the Whisperers are just devastating and diabolic, and they do all these things. We've not seen this type of hype around villains since, the rumors of Negan, and then, the rumors that it was going to be Henry Rollins, and then Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and wasn't really sure how I felt about that, but you could certainly see that evil. But now you got Ryan Hurst, who a lot of people like, and now you're going to get people kind of torn between, do you pull for the villain? Do you keep pulling for the villain? And I think it's going to be harder to pull for these villains. It was hard enough to pull for Negan. And 1 second, because we got a super chat. And this is Villar back. We missed you last week, Villar. But good to see you back last night. And Villar says, hello to the 99 Army. Kill Steph, Emmy Kale, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course, all of the super chatters, all the people that are involved. And, highlight their comments and just give us some neat stuff to talk about. So appreciate everybody that is partaking in our streams. And this is, I don't want to brag about you guys too much, but before we get into it, I do have to. Because I saw, when the news came out earlier today about Ryan Hurst being cast, how many people saw at least 20 ads with almost the exact same information? Different picture, but almost the exact same information. This is going somewhere. And it popped up, right? So it was Collider, it was EW.com, it was Digital Spy, it was comicbook.com, and everybody started linking it and sending it and linking it, and it basically said the same thing. And I've mentioned to you guys before, I don't watch YouTube previews and other YouTubers unless it's just something that is in my feed, and it's very odd. But that's what's so unique about all the people in the stream. That's why I said I'm just going to brag about you guys for a second. Because our streams are live forums. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because it's not always a script. There's a theme, there's bullet points, but we're going to talk about the news that's out there. But I can guarantee you it's not going to be the same thing that everybody's clicking on with these articles, because they just want the ads that play in the background and all the stuff that's going on. So your thoughts, your comments is really what creates this video. And it's all real time. So you're not waiting on someone else to put a chat there. Pete D in the house with a super chat. So thank you so much, Pete D. Appreciate you jumping in here. And one last thing I do have to say. Special shout out to Jimmy's Jammin', because I got one of the best shout outs in the world today. So if you guys have not seen our Walking Dead 999 Army page, Zoe did a shout out to Killshot, and it was just the most adorable thing. So thank you so much, Jimmy. Appreciate that. That was very special. So that's it's good stuff. All right, Beta, Sons of Anarchy, Ryan Hurst. Thoughts on the casting of Beta? Just your raw emotion. What do you think about it? Is it going to be hard to turn him into a villain? What do you think? Phoenix says excellent choice. Dawn of the Frank says perfect. Anna says too likable. Love it. Good choice. All right, hold on, T-Ray. I'm going to disagree just a little bit. T-Ray says good choice physically. So, from my research, and we can talk about this tomorrow, Beta is like a really, really tall basketball player, dude. And when I think tall basketball players, I'm thinking 6'8", 6'9". Ryan Hurst is 6'4". So that doesn't strike me as that's not a super big guy. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan is 6'2". So they're going to have to do something. You can make people taller. But I think they're going to have to, he's a solid 6'4". I don't disagree with that. But, there's a difference between 6'4" and 6'8", 6'9". I mean, that's kind of hulking. That's towering. And because there's lots that go down in the comics between Negan and Beta, Ryan Hurst is not towering over Negan. Because Negan's not a short dude. He's a thin guy, but he's 6'2". So, he's about average. And then you got 6'4", so only a couple inches between the two. So I think they're going to have to boost him up a little bit, get him some elevator boots. I do think they'll make him taller. Get him some Kiss things, some of those Kiss boots they used to wear, platform. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. But they are going to have to make him a little bit taller. So, Samantha Morton. Not overly familiar with Samantha Morton. However, I saw a couple pictures, in this one that we have posted up there. She just has a look to me like she can be... I am going to say she's going to steal the show. I think her character is going to be the new darkness, the new woman that you love to hate. I just got this feeling. I'm not saying she's going to be a person that you cheer for. I'm not saying she's a person that's going to be brought back like Negan. I just think she's going to be this evil, dark character that just doesn't just doesn't care. And I think she's going to nail it. I'm usually a pretty good judge of character, but just by the different poses I've seen, I'm just like, man, she's going to be. If she can nail this roll down, losing Rick and Maggie is going to be the least of our worries. Yeah, but Northside Queen, I never really was a anti-Jadis, which is why I wasn't one of the ones out there saying Jadis is going to take over the Whisperers. I didn't see that. And don't get me wrong, there's more that can go down with Jadis. I don't think Jadis is done. I think we've just hit the tip of the iceberg with her. I just didn't see her as that, I don't care about anything, cold, dark. What would you describe that? Like just blank, just empty? I go back, I mentioned this on one of the previous streams, where I don't know the exact line, but it was from the movie Tombstone. I know I like to refer to different movies, but they were talking about how, when Kurt Russell said to Val Kilmer, and he said, what makes a person that evil? And then, I don't know, I just think of her. I just think that she's been through something, that she's just empty and just doesn't. She's providing, but she has a different method of keeping people alive, and just don't get in her way. So I do want to fast forward just to a couple other characters, because there's a lot of introductions. I'll give you a little bit more tomorrow night. We will do the complete Whisperer stream tomorrow. So Cassidy McClinchy, I guess, am I saying that right? Hopefully, has been cast as Lydia. So you can see her on the left. And I do think that's going to follow a little bit of the comic storyline. It makes sense at this point. And on the right, you have Barbara Streisand. Nah, it's not Barbara Streisand. That's Nadia Hilker, who's playing Magna. Does sort of have a little bit of that Barbara Streisand look, though, right? Pretty excited about the Magna story, and Magna with the militia and kind of battling the Whispers. Hey, Pete is better than saying Paul Stanley, right? That was going to be my first choice. So Magna. Magna's got this group, and, you got the militia, and then you got Alexandria, and then you got these small pockets of groups, and they're really going to have to coordinate. Because the Whisperers look better coordinated. I mean, you can go back. Let me get the official quote, because I kind of butchered it in the beginning. But, all right, so this is me not trying to remember it. I'm actually going to read it this time. This is Alpha. You came into our land, killed our kind. Now we explore your land. Learn about your people. You will see many of us. You will know us. You will fear us. So her validation goes right along with what we're talking about, how Rick's group is starting to expand. Building bridges and doing stuff. Now, who knows how much they're going to expand after the time skip, and it could be Rick's fault. Now, hold on. Not blaming him yet. But if Rick leaves after 5 or 6, and his legacy is to go out, explore new lands, boldly go where no man has gone before, and they start doing that, And all looks kind of fine and good that, Rick's moved on, Maggie's moved on, and we got some advancement, and we got crops growing, and we're meeting new people, and Alpha doesn't like it, then even the worst villains usually have a cause. Now, if Alpha doesn't have a cause, that makes them better, because then it's like, okay, well, there's no way they're ever going to be good. They're either going to be bad and stay bad, or be bad and die. There ain't no coming back, I don't think, from the Whispers. Well, Evelina White says, how could I blame Rick for expanding? I don't know. How could I blame the Spanish for going into Mexico? How could I blame Napoleon for settling along Louisiana? How could you blame people for colonizing? I mean, there's a lot. Blame is the perspective of the person that wants to expand. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could still be a catalyst. So I use the word blame very loosely. So let me, I won't retract. Let me use the word catalyst. How about that? Rick, his legacy may be, let's just go out and let's just see who wants to be found, and let's do this and do that. But they could be trespassing. I'm not saying it has to be a big storyline or that there's right and wrong. I'm just saying that Alpha may look at it and like, who the hell are these people? And, I mean, her quote says it all, right? I mean, you came into our land. You killed our kind. So there's her justification right there. It's your fault that we're going to get back at you. And, I mean, it is a necessity. Henry's getting a time skip. I think that's part of the relevance of the time skip. All right. Most, if not all, of our predictions are still in play. So here is a spoiler with a prediction, with a comic validation. Whoa, boy, we're doing the ice cream, the whipped cream, and the cherry on top with this one. Spoiler, prediction, comic validation. All right, you guys ready for this? So, the spoiler that is getting out there is that Jesus dies. Right? The follow-up rumor to the spoiler is that, this is kind of rumor, it's not confirmed, is that Jesus takes out some walkers, or I'm sorry, some whispers, and then swings at one, they duck, and they stab him. Okay? That's supposedly the end. Now, we said it probably a little bit more ferocious. Now, our prediction that's added into that is, I said it would be like Billy Jack. Jesus is going to get surrounded. He's going to use all his martial arts skills. He's going to take out a few. He's going to be a badass. He's going to do some things, some stuff. And then they're just going to overwhelm him. Now, in the comic, it's somewhat similar. So when I was doing that prediction, I didn't know that Jesus' character actually gets surrounded by whispers, and he kills them all except for one. And the one, he takes hostage and takes them back. And then he unmasks her and finds out it's 16-year-old Lydia. So apparently that's where the Lydia storyline comes in. Am I good? Am I still on point? Because this is my research. So I just went from YouTuber to historian. All right. So our predictions are that Henry might take Carl's storyline. So that Lydia does get captured, that Lydia gets found, that could be, maybe she's injured, maybe it could be the bleeding scene, maybe Rick's involved. I don't think Rick's involved in that, though. So that would take away from one of our I guess that would minimize one of our predictions, because we said potentially in one of the spoiler predictions that Rick could find an injured Lydia, carry her back. She could be bleeding. That could be what goes down. I think it's more likely it's going to be Aaron. I think the blood is going to be Aaron, and we won't get to see Lydia till after the time skip. I don't think we're going to see a young Lydia and then kind of catch and release, and then she's taken hostage and they send her back, and then we see a 16-year-old Lydia. I think we're going to see Lydia after the time skip. Alpha, Beta, Lydia, Magna, all after the time skip. So that means that more than likely the Rick storyline will not involve the Whisperers. The Maggie storyline will not involve the Whisperers. Aaron losing his arm will probably not involve the Whisperers. So remember how we do these theories. We start out with a big, wide range of theories, and we start to funnel them down. So I think these new characters that are introduced, and we know that they're all going to be later, definitely changes how we start to view Rick's exit and Maggie's exit and Jadis' involvement. All right, we're going to get back to that. This is not our prediction video, but I did want to throw a couple things out there. All right, let's talk about a couple of the new characters that are going to be there. So we also got Eleanor Matsura. And Dan Fogler. So Eleanor Matsura, Yumiko, could get the secret ninja skill that Jesus is not going to be around to see. So I think she's going to be our female Jesus. What do you guys think? Possible they move Tom out, bring Eleanor in a little bit later on after the time skip? Hold on, and thank you so much. I did miss a super chat, and it is Jimmy's Jamming. How can I miss your super chat? All right, let me get Jimmy in the fray here. Jimmy says, spoiler alert, maybe in the comics the Whisperers have a fear or healthy respect for Negan. Negan will be a force against them, just got a feeling. Less super chat spotlight that, Jimmy, because I didn't catch it the first time. First question to tie into Jimmy's super chat. Number one, is Negan aware of the Whispers? Your thought. I know in the comic he had some knowledge of it. Julie says yes. Maria, yes. Viola, yes. Timothy, yes. Okay, hold on, though. I may have just tricked you again. Some people went for the bait. We did this last night. Corporal Epic says no. Why no, Epic? If you guys remember the stream last night, then you'll understand why he probably does not. Julie's like, she knows. Who went for the bait last night? I need like a sound effect. I'm going to get some sound effects for you guys. Something real dramatic, because time skip trick. So it's like a time skip trick, right? If the Whisperers don't show up after the time skip, what difference does it make? Negan probably has no more knowledge of something's going to happen in 3, 4, 5 years than everybody else. See, now I can find out who missed the stream last night. Yeah, I think, maybe he stumbles upon them first, or he has, but I don't think there's going to be a 4-year, 5-year working knowledge of the Whispers. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where, Rick's gone, everybody's gone, they're sitting around the fire, and Negan's like, hey, let me tell you a story. There's these people that have been walking around now for 7 years, and they whisper. Which is why hold on. Right, Dan Lawrence? Which is why I'm also going to say the PPP on the hotel key card means nothing. I got a hard time thinking that Heath has been kept alive for 5 years. It's going to get crazy. So, question for the group. Would the Whispers... Now, hold on. Alternate possibility. Could the Whispers have recruited Sherry, Heath, Dwight? Leave your thoughts to that. Well, Walking Dead nerd, they're not going to recognize it as a skin that's 5 years old. So I don't think the Whispers, look, they can always change it around for television. So I don't think you're going to see a situation to where these Whispers are like taking people captive and they're waiting on Rick to free them up. I think it's going to be a life-changing commitment. You're either in or you're out. So if Heath joined up with the Whispers and said, you know what, I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of following Rick around. I'm tired of sitting in this RV waiting on Tara to come back. I'm out of here. If those type of things happened, I don't know that they're just going to walk up and negotiate and say, you know what, it's a totally different ballgame now. Sherry, Dwight, what does Dwight have to go back to? They don't want him there. Daryl's going to kill him if he sees him again. And I'm not trying to sympathize with the Whispers, if that's the way it goes down. We've got a super chat. 2 super chats I want to jump into. I want to say what's up to DDA Ohio with a super chat. No follow-up comment. So, moderators, if DDA Ohio throws in a comment shortly, let me know. But thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate that contribution. And we also got BK Harp saying happy birthday to Emmy. So, a little late birthday. So, thank you so much, BK. And Emmy got a ton of birthday shout-outs yesterday. And today is Ron Burgundy Moore's birthday. So, we just got a... this is an army. We're like the Whisper Army, except more cool. And we don't wear people's faces. The Video Hound says Dwight should have his own spinoff. Couldn't you see Dwight, though, doing something like, That's funny, Pete. Oh, and Madison, this is great. Can you see Dwight like being one of the whispers that actually talked louder? He got like worked up, and he's like, "See what you did to my face? This is why I have to wear the skin over the top of it." And then somebody hits him in the back of the head, and they're like, "Shh, you're supposed to whisper." All right, got it. Like Dwight's not learning the rules of the whispers. He's still carrying around some anger. But, he's got that burnt face, so maybe, that was his incentive to change. Dwight got burnt by Negan. He got burnt figuratively by everybody else. They didn't want him around, so I think Dwight would be a good assassin. I'm not ready to predict that, by the way. I'm talking out loud, just saying, we're expecting fresh heads on pikes. And the time skip doesn't do it. Well, Lisa says, I don't see them recruiting. So where do they come from, Lisa? This is like the Big Bang Theory, not the TV show, but the actual Big Bang Theory where there's, just like balls of gas. Like, where did it come from? You can't just have whispers and say, well, today there's 1,000 whispers. At one point there had to be a whisper, and then a whisperer, and a whisperest, and then, they had to get some people on board. Take them prisoner? Okay. So, if they take them, did it look like Heath got taken? Is it possible that Sherry, out there all alone, got taken? So, Heath and Sherry, maybe they're part of it. Perhaps Dwight is the person that sees them because, and we'll do like the Whisper recap, but apparently in the comic it was Marco and Ken that get followed by Whispers. And I guess Marco says the dead are talking to him and they thought he was a little crazy. But Daniel, here's the problem. And this is why I'm going to retract something. Because for the longest time, we said Heath and Sherry and somebody else on a pike. But I don't know that would be recognizable. I'm going to ask this question without trying to get really, really morbid. I don't know that there's a way to do it. And I'm very sarcastic in nature. But then I'm going to have like helicopters flying around and people doing research on me. I don't know if one were to put someone's head on a pike or spike and leave it there for 3 or 4 years, if that head would be recognizable. Okay, that's the only way I can say it. Thank you. Maria Favada helped me out because I was struggling with a way to do that. See, you guys can type it, but when I say it, it sounds like I'm kind of dark and sinister and sort of off the rails a little bit. And trust me, I'm not. I don't think. But, so once again, this is another thing that the time skip rears its ugly head. Hey, see what I did there? That, you know what? That was great. I need everybody to like the video because I just made like the most awesome pun. All right. I'm tired. I'm stop patting myself on the back. Okay. The time skip is making it more difficult. Because there's already 18 months that have passed. So if you add another 4 years, then you got 6 years since potentially Heath has been gone. 6 years since Sherry's been gone. No, it's not working. If they do that, Epic last night was talking about a couple things that they did in Fear that he thought was bad writing. If there's a time skip, it doesn't make sense for it to be Heath and Sherry. I'm gonna kind of unwind that and have it make sense for everybody. Remember what we do here. We take this broad group of theories and we narrow them and we filter them down. So if Heath has been gone for 6 years, okay, they held him captive for 6 years and they decide to cut his head off now? No. If Sherry's been captive for 6 years, they decide, no, it's not working. It's going to have to be new people. So, and this is Captain Crawfish with a super chat. It says, love the mods. Whispers don't recruit. They kill or they take. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So, now that you guys are kind of following me along a little bit, so we can probably head in a different direction. I can do this all night. I'm here all week, by the way. We can probably say it's going to be 3 new people. So, let's forget about Heath, forget about Sherry, and give me 3 people that are now going to be decapitated after the time skip. Or 2 or 3 people. We're going to come up with new, fresh blood. Walking Dead Nerd says Laura and Regina. We know we've heard Laura and Regina are going to die. Laura, Regina, and Jesus, I'm okay with that. That would be my big 3 prediction right there. Laura, Regina, and Jesus. Because those are deaths that have been spoiled at this point. All right. I did not, DDO. I saw the super chat, but I didn't see the follow-up question. I'll kind of scroll, but if you want, just if it's a short question, just retype it for me, and I'll check it out. Or moderators, can one of the moderators cut and paste it for me, please? And I'm going to get back to Jesus and Heath in a couple seconds. David Brooks, Ezekiel, Rosita, and Jade. Maybe. We haven't heard that they die yet, but that's a possibility. I missed Pete's comment, but I'm pretty sure there was a Terra in there somewhere. All right, we're going to go to the next couple of pictures. Why? I got a super chat for DDA Ohio once we get that kind of queued back up. All right, we got Connie and Kelly. And I didn't talk about Luke. So we had Luke in the previous slide, and we also get Connie and Kelly, new characters that are introduced. Just a ton of new faces. Hold on, I'm scrolling through. Mods, any luck with that super chat from DDA, Ohio? Here we go. So DDA said, if Jadis could be villain in the first few episodes. So let me just kind of give my assessment on this, and I'll ask a few other people. So Jadis was a mystery in the beginning. Then she was negotiating. I think Jadis is part of a bigger outfit. I think 12 people she was negotiating, 12 monkeys. I think Jadis is doing some research. That Anne is, she's got a plan. I don't see her as a villain. But I don't think she likes Negan being captive. So I do think there will be a connection between Anne and Negan. But I also think that Jadis is going to be involved in Rick's departure. Mike, I'm going to address that question because I think Fear did a really good job of that last night. And I made a pretty bold statement as well. Because I thought there were some hidden clues with the Fear episode that showed the opposite side of that. Another Fox says Jadis equals Judas. We've been, that's been said for a long time, but just hasn't come true yet. I mean, she did take a shot at Rick, but she said, found better deal. Kimberly G says, Jadis knows what A stands for. I know what it stands for, too. The A stands for Anne, because it's Anne's private heli. She gets on the walkie-talkie, and she's had it branded with her first initial on it. Send in the chopper. Send in my personal chopper. She's tied in. She's in with that group. Not just a distress call. Come on, Green. I am probably the first person to ever make the correlation between Anne and that A on the helicopter. I mean, I guess they could sew it on her shirt if she was an adulteress. Say, I just went scarlet letter on you. But I don't think it's that complicated. I really just think it's a code. It could be... You guys laugh at this now. Why does it have to stand for something? Why does it have to be a nickname? Why can it not just be A, B, and C? This is Group A. This is Group B. This is Group C. I mean, it may mean something, but we got a name. It's like the Saviors, because we save people. The Vultures. I'm not gonna lie. Of all the things, I'm gonna get off topic here, but of all the things I love about Fear, I think the Vultures was the dumbest name for a group that I've ever heard in my life. That was like, it's like when you're naming an alternative band like Violent Femmes or just something, you're just coming up with something. It's like, we just want to be called something, so we're going to be the Vultures. Epic says, why? What do you mean, why is it? Because it's a dumb name. Who goes around and refers himself as the Vultures? Why can't it just be that group, male's group? But we've got Heapsters and Saviors and I don't think we needed the vultures. I'm not saying they're bad. I just thought it was a really dumb name. And I've loved almost everything else about Fear this season. Well, I don't know. I think the saviors are less dumb than the vultures. Because the saviors, they think they're saving people. We are your savior. You're going to pay respect to us because we're doing a good deed. We're doing a service. Not, we're the vultures. We're just going to pick at everything. And, whatever's dead, we're just going to show up. It was a little corny for me. I don't have a problem with the story. I just have a problem with the nickname. All right, I could probably go on for hours with this. All right, let me get another slide. All right, there you go. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back in to really get to... No, Mel wasn't dumb. Mel was great. I Crawfish, I'm going to say no. I don't... I think the Whisperers are going to be a collection of people. I don't think it's going to be a specific ethnicity. I think it's just going to be... And you can kind of see that, right? I mean, already from Alpha, Beta, Lydia. Drama King wants to know, why are we talking about a dead guy named Mel? Because Mel was... You know what? If you say Mel 3 times, Mel the Vulture might actually show up in our chat. It's happened before. And I would agree with that. Epic, I think you're right on the money. Well, I'm going to give you 2 potential storylines. I'm trying to think this through, though. So in the comics, Jesus kills them all except for Lydia. I'm trying to think of how that would work out. So I guess you got 2 potential stories here. Is Jesus could carry that comic arc, but it's more likely that someone else will find Lydia. And that Beta will kill Jesus. I agree with you. I'm going to give you 2 potential predictions, so don't hold me to either one of them, because that's why I'm giving you 2. Neither one of them may be right. This one doesn't seem as feasible. Jesus finds Lydia, brings her back, then Jesus goes back out again, and then Jesus gets killed. That's a little bit redundant for me. I don't think they'll write it that way. And that would satisfy the Jesus death. But what would make a little bit more sense is Lydia stumbles upon someone and they take her back, a la Charlie's storyline from Fear. We've seen that, right? Or someone else finds Lydia and captures Lydia, and then Jesus does run into the Whispers, and ultimately Beta kills him. And I do feel like Beta is going to be the one to kill Jesus too. I think Jesus is going to take out a few and he's going to... Beta needs to establish his physical dominance by killing someone that you don't think can easily be killed. Would you guys agree with that? And if you're trying to show how tough he is there another person that you think that Beta would potentially kill? I'm absolutely on board with that, Epic. No doubt about it. So I don't know that there's a lot of... Julie won't happen with Rick. Rick's going to be long gone before we ever get the Whispers. I mean, that's the thing we got to remember with the time skip. Cole Miller says a swole Eugene. Maybe, but Eugene's going to... Jesus is already there. Eugene's not. Eugene's going to have to do some things and take out some people to get a little bit of street cred. Eugene does not have that yet. I can't believe... You know what? I cannot believe that Captain Crawfish actually typed street cred at almost the exact same time I was saying it. That is beyond bizarre. Of course, we're talking about two different things here, but still. First of all, who says street cred, and what are the odds of two people saying it at exactly the same time? That is bizarre. These streams are getting stranger and stranger. Weird, right? Okay. I don't think that there is a better character for Beta to kill to make the fans angry, to show how diabolic he is, and to really fit that role, and to end the reign, and also, I mean, it really sets the stage. It's like, it was way cool. Or the king. Julie, he could kill Ezekiel. But let me ask the question, okay? Really get you in that mode. Who are right now, just the group that you know of, who's the best fighter? Who's a person of all the people there that you'd say, like, this person, you can't beat this person? Jerry's definitely tough. But Jesus is the one that comes to mind. Like, when I think, well, not Rick. We're talking after the time skip. Daryl, it's not going to happen with Daryl. And let me say this. Daryl isn't tough. Daryl's semi-tough. Daryl's good with the crossbow. Hand to hand, it's Jesus. And who is the person that we already have a spoiler we know is going to die? It's Jesus. So we don't know that Ezekiel dies. We don't know that any other major character dies right now except Jesus. So I think that spoiler, combined with the fact that we know that Beta is being introduced and we know that Beta is an enforcer, it's hard not to think that that's the way it's going to go down. Could be other characters, but that makes a little bit more sense. And then you get a freshly decapitated person. And then you get to watch. I'm going to tell you, once again, just watch that clip. If you like Billy Jack and you're cheering for somebody, and then you see somebody, if you haven't seen that scene, let me ask you as a question. This will test your movie knowledge, your TV knowledge. Is there ever been a scene, and I'm not just talking about superheroes, Has there ever been a scene like Walking Tall or something, where somebody got beat with a stick? I mean, something like that, to where you're pulling for this person, and, that's your hero, and all of a sudden, 10 people jump on them, and you got to watch them, get beat down. And they either die or they get close to death. So I want you to... So Daniel says, Sonny versus Carlo in Godfather. So think of that. Think of a movie scene where you've had to watch that. So Wilani says, the Billy Jack scene. Cool Hand Luke says T-Ray. Viola says, I remember crying during a specific scene. So you guys have choices here. A few choices. So we got what? Cool Hand Luke. We got Walking Tall. We got Billy Jack. We got just a bunch of stuff. John Wick. Okay, maybe a little bit more emotionally disturbing than John Wick. I'm going for your emotion here. I'm going for something that you sincerely felt that you wanted to be there and help them, that you would have jumped in there and helped that person from getting mauled. All right. That's the mood I want to create here. As much as we like Jesus, he's likable. There's nothing that you can't like about this guy. And if he goes down fighting and the odds are against him, and this guy that you like on Sons of Anarchy, okay, first of all, I got no emotional attachment to him. I could care less. I'm not bringing his past show into this show. I'm not saying you were good on this show and it's going to be hard for me not to like you. I don't give a damn about that. What would Daryl say? I don't care if he was good on Sons of Anarchy. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch. That's what Daryl would say. So let me say this. You put Jesus in a scene where he's surrounded by whispers, fighting for his life, and he takes one out, and you're cheering for him. He takes another one out, and he kicks this big dude, and it doesn't faze him, and he takes out some kind of machete and just... whoosh. You are going to hate him. You are going to be disturbed by it. It is going to affect you. If they can do on The Walking Dead with that scene, and I so wished I was writing. If I was writing it, I already know how I would do the choreography. I would set this thing up. I would set this thing up where everybody in the stream is crying your eyes out. You would feel it. If they can do that, it is going to solidify. It is going to add so much intensity. It is going to make them by far the most hated, the most challenged. When Negan killed Abraham, it didn't kill me because Abraham wanted to die. When Negan killed Glenn, it bothered me. It affected me. But there's already people out there who have done validation to that. You decapitate Jesus. There is no validation for that. And this look he has on his face that I have on the screen right now, it looks like he just did it, and he's just kind of smirking after he did it. I mean, what if he has that look on his face and he's carrying the head of Jesus, blood dripping down? Whew. Then let me say this already. Okay, even if it doesn't happen that way, the fact that some of you are already thinking that you're going to like the Whispers, I don't see it happening. I think these two people up on the screen are going to push you to a level of constraint that you've never had on a TV show before. And I got one more question for everybody. I love it. Maria Favai's like, I hate them already. And I want you to hate them. Because I think they're pure evil. And when that happens, and you've got Magna, look, we saw the pictures of Magna. She does not look like she just got off of work. I mean, we saw her and Yumiko. They are fighting for their lives. Yumiko's already bleeding. There's a showdown going on right there. They're fighting the Whispers. You got this small group, and you got no Rick, you got no Maggie to lead you. So now you got Daryl leading a group, you got Carol and Ezekiel, you're going to need Negan. They are going to be begging Negan to unretire Lucille and get out there and make things right. So, one last question. I kind of know the answer to this question. There's a lot of star power. We can see it. Look, Alpha, Beta, Lydia, Magna, Yumiko, Luke, even Justin and Jed. I mean, some new saviors that are coming out. A ton of new people. They're bringing out the star power this year. But they have to. We have spent almost this whole episode talking about something with only a few hints of Maggie leaving and Rick leaving. I was going to ask this question. You know what? I'm not going to ask the group because we're not ready to answer this question yet. And I'll tell you what I was going to say. I was going to say, with these new revelations and the new story and the new evil and some potential things could happen, are you starting to see yourself think about the show without Rick and Maggie? Now, for a brief period of time, we did that. And we talked about after the time skip. I don't want to ask it just yet because I know the answer is still going to be predominantly no, we're not, because we're emotional and we like these two characters. But with all the new people and all the new stories, what they're really trying to do is get our attention on something different and stop having the show just ran by 2 or 3 superstars. So I get it. I understand it. Still be a mistake if they kill either one of them. I'm not going to change that perspective. But I can see open-ended stories happening and me getting excited about this evil and what the group is going to have to do. The real test is can this group piece it together and get some victories and feel good about it? So, at some point, we're going to have to ask that question. And at some point, we're going to have to move on without the stars. Shane Hassan says, let me be honest, Kills. My answer is yes, because so many different stories. And you can't hate the writers and you can't hate the producers for trying to get some stars in here to really tell a different story. I can't hate them if they kill Rick. And I will. I will. Jimmy Jammin says, I need time. We do. But it is, I will say this. It was nice talking about another story. It was kind of nice with the Rick exit not being in the headlines and thinking, wow, we're going to have to see other people face off. Oh, man, did I do it again? All right, you know what? With that pun, I am going to wind the stream down because apparently there's just a bunch of Whisper references that naturally come out. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. And besides, we hit an hour and 4 minutes, and I know OU Captain Crawfish is going to say, come on, Kills, it's not a school night. Let's go another 45 minutes. But you know what? Here's the good news. We're going to do this again tomorrow night at 9:30. And we're going to talk Whispers. So we're going to have the complete Whisper story. I'm going to say right now, I am not the Whisper expert. But I will do some homework. I will get some facts. I will get some things. And I'm expecting all of you that are watching this video that know it. You're going to be the experts tomorrow. You're going to have to chime in. You're going to have to get involved in this. You're going to have to answer some questions because we're going to have some people watching that want to know. And it's our job to educate them and get them ready. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. If you're watching the playback, this is the closing credits, so I'm going to do a bunch of shout-outs. Those of you that are still here, which are a couple hundred people, I need everybody to hit that like button. If you're waiting till the very end to hit the like button, you're waiting far too long because this is what we are. This is who we are. This is the 999 Army. Show a little bit of love for everybody that's been typing, streaming, doing all that stuff along there. For the person who's been talking for an hour and 5 minutes nonstop without a commercial break. Yep, that's me. Let's get to shout out. So give me some quick 999s up there right now. I do want to shout out all the patrons. Thank you for everything that you guys do. Support this channel each and every month through an external website. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, some people have asked on the YouTube page. There's always a link down below in the description. So you can check on the description. You can do that. Also, we got sponsors as well. We got people rocking the gear. Check out Jimmy's Jam, and he's got all the Fear the 999 Army shirts. We got some summer, fall colors if you're into that. And also a special shout out to all the super chatters. You saw them highlighting their comments tonight. Thank you for everything that you guys do. And then my biggest shout out is always going to go to everybody that shows up every single night and types in these streams and watches the playback and comments on other people's comments. And you guys just do, you put that block of time, an hour every night. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you guys do. It is shout-out time. So I'm going to start out with Green74. What's up, Green? Marcia Cooper, Amanda Goss, Timothy Lamora, Paul Eagle, Ed, what's going on? Crystal Gore, Evelina White, thank you so much. Julie McGuire, sorry I called you Julia. It was screaming fast. The Video Hound, my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, you guys, wonderful job every single night. Jason, the Mixologist, daily, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my man. Eric C., Dawn of the Frank, Coma Drug, Maria Favada. Great comments tonight, Maria. Thank you. Jacob Villette, I think. Shane Yutzi. T-Ray. DDA Ohio. Corporal Epic Army. Thank you for being here and your comments. Really good beta theory. I like it. I think beta will kill Jesus. I'm right there with you. KCF. Devin Palmer. Thank you. Shane Hassan. Viola McGowan. DeVay Dolly. Thank you. Cole Miller. What's up, Cole? Howling Wolf. Tracy Frederick. Justin Barrett. Phoenix Rising, we got you. We got you the first 8 times, Phoenix. I got you. I got you. Nicholas Scott, thank you. Lisa Smith, thank you. Also, Lisa and Kimberly G. We got 2 Kimberly Gs. You can tell your channel's really growing when you got a bunch of people with the same name. Kimberly, you need to be Kimberly OG. Kind of mix it up. Diane Estes, thanks for being here. And thanks for everything you do and your longtime support as well. The Real Dave Doherty, 999 kills. You're awesome. Keep up the great work. I just love hanging out with you guys. Deborah Cox, thanks for being here. Sinister One, have a good night. Gina Crockett. Julia Drums. Also special shout out to our 999 Army in our world and also the 999 Casual group as well. A lot of gamers. My thoughts and prayers go out with people in Jacksonville, Florida as well. A lot of gamers down there, part of the gaming family. Never understand it, but thinking about you guys. So know some people down there in the Madden tournament that are still with us. So tough situation. Ron Burgundy Moore, happy birthday to you. Bumblebee Brown. Have a good night, Willani. Tegan, thank you. Captain Crawfish. Have a good night, Captain. Thanks for those chats and also those theories as well. Walking Dead Nerd, thank you. Always a pleasure. Part of my sponsorship crew. And my patrons. And I get some really good messages from Walking Dead Nerd. That's like my secret spy. When something comes out, I get like these messenger messages. Kills, do you see this? And I appreciate that. And I can't always respond to all of them. But if you guys follow me on Kick, KILZHOT, if you got some top secret information or you got a theory and you want to talk about it, shoot it over to me. And as always, I know I missed a ton of shout-outs. Jimmy's jamming. What's up, Jimmy? Thank you. Cole Miller. Thank you, Cole. Have a good night. Okay, everybody, I'm going to wind down. We're at like an hour and 10 minutes. I know I missed a ton. Northside Queen, I see you right there at the end. Valar, I almost miss you too, Valar. If I do miss you in this video, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow night at 9:30. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you soon. Peace.